Hello ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else watching. My name's Eric, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the Bioshock Hub. If you don't like spoilers, please come back to this video at a later date, preferably after you've beaten Bioshock Infinite. Today, we're going to be telling the story of the First Lady of Columbia, Lady Comstock, from her husband's awful plan to her initial thoughts of Elizabeth, and much more. So would you kindly sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of Lady Comstock. Lady Comstock first met Zachary Comstock while being a follower and a devotee of Father Comstock. At this time, she was known as Annabelle Watson. Before Columbia, she wasn't the purest person, and she decided that she would allow Comstock to cleanse her of her sins, and he offered his hand in marriage to her, which she accepted. Bad choice. Now, being the First Lady of Columbia, she designed the flag of Columbia and further spread her teachings and the teachings of gospel of Father Comstock. Though she was grateful for the position she was in, along with Father Comstock cleansing her of her sins, she was ashamed of how ruthless he could be towards people he didn't agree with. She also began to question his loyalty and his love towards her, heard in this voxophone that I'll be playing for you right now.
Tonight, the prophet moved against his political enemies. He preaches mercy, but 40 souls lie tonight dead in unmarked graves. If a man was ever unworthy of grace, it would be my husband. But when I was beyond redemption, he offered it anyway. How can I deny forgiveness to one who with love granted it to me?
After Zachary Comstock commissioned the Lutece twins to find Anna from another timeline, Lady Comstock grew quite suspicious of her, as well as Lutece. Originally, she thought Lutece was the mother, and that Comstock and Lutece had an affair, but that wasn't the case, as heard by these two voxophones.
Lutece says the bastard is a creation not of her womb, but of some unholy science. I do not know which is true. The child is no more divine than I. What says that for my husband's prophecy? He begs my silence, but I can only offer him forgiveness. But with repentance need come truth. I can suffer his lies no longer.
Lady Comstock seems to believe the child is a result of some errant act of carnality between myself and her beloved prophet. I told the poor woman the truth, that the child was a product of our little contraption, but I think she found that less believable than her delusion.
After an immense amount of anger, frustration, and confusion, Lady Comstock decided that enough was enough. She was going to break her silence about the Lamb of Columbia, the Miracle Child, or just Elizabeth in general, and let everyone know what happened, aka Comstock's dirty little secret. This is when Father Comstock did something downright horrible. He had his own wife killed by strangulation. He then took it a step further and blamed their maid, Daisy Fitzroy, who had a tremendous amount of respect for Lady Comstock as, quote, she commended her kind disposition, end quote. And also, I just wanted to throw this in there very quickly, an alternate version of Lady Comstock was Annabelle DeWitt, the mother of Elizabeth/Anna and wife to Booker. She ultimately passed away during childbirth, and that sent Booker into his alcoholism, along with gambling. Now, let's move on to when she became a siren. Eventually, as Booker and Elizabeth are roaming downtown Emporia, they come across a gate that leads to Comstock House. Due to the dress that Elizabeth puts on after stabbing Daisy Fitzroy earlier in the game, the automatic gate mistakes her for her mother. This is because Elizabeth tried using her own fingerprints to gain access, but unfortunately, they're tied to Lady Comstock and also Father Comstock, I assume. Elizabeth comes up with the idea of going to her mother's gravesite which is preserved, and stealing her hand to gain access. This sounds absolutely batshit insane, I know. Eventually, as Elizabeth is talking to her mother, Comstock summons a miniature siphon to drain some of Elizabeth's powers and turn Lady Comstock into a siren, someone who can bring the dead back to life. When I first played this game and that happened, that actually terrified me. Not gonna lie, because I wasn't expecting it. But, hey, that's alright. She instantly attacks Booker and Elizabeth simply for her hatred towards Elizabeth because she doesn't know the actual truth, as explained in earlier voxophones. Then, after you defeat her for the first time, the Lutesses do typical Lutess things. They warn that Booker and Elizabeth must find 3 truths or secrets to be able to learn about the truth of Father Comstock and Lady Comstock. The first truth was that Comstock was sterile due to the tear device, or the Lutess device. Truth number 2, he stole Elizabeth for his own personal agenda. And truth number 3, he ordered Jeremiah Fink to murder the Lutess twins and make it look like an accident, just to hide the secret surrounding Elizabeth. After all of this, and after one final fight, Elizabeth is able to make amends with her, quote, mother by sharing the truths that she learned, and obviously Lady Comstock accepts it. In return, Lady Comstock, or the siren version of her, blasts open the door to Comstock House, allowing Booker and Elizabeth to pass through. So, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else watching, I know this was a little bit of a shorter episode, but I wanted to do one on Lady Comstock as I haven't done one yet. If you enjoyed, would you kindly hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, and turn on all post notifications to never miss a future video or a future live stream. If you want to follow me outside of YouTube, you can do so by following my social medias or subscribing to my second channel for additional content. The links to those will be down in the description below. With that being said, thank you all so very much for watching today's video. Take care, stay safe, and I will talk to you all in the next one.
Is that possible? Find out, child. Find out.